Hey guys, so it's just truly Jennifer Namele Afi Amate, and today I want to share on a juicy topic, my lesbian story. Yeah, it's a shocker, right? Not so much to some of you, anyway. So let's get into it. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I am part of the Lighthouse Chapel International. And one of the big things of Lighthouse Chapel, one of the things that the main things Lighthouse Chapel International is known for is evangelism. And this word anakazo is associated to Lighthouse because we believe in winning the lost at all costs, which anakazo stands for. So, one time in church, which we are told almost all the time, especially when you become a shepherd, as I am, you are encouraged to go out there and win souls and also follow up those who have not been to church for a while. So back then, we're told to look out for somebody who has not been to church for a while and then visit them, encourage them, and bring them to church. So I identified one lady that came, and I identified her. I remembered her because of what she was wearing that day. So I realized I knew where the area she stayed. So I went there and then looked for her, spoke with her, and she said, oh, she was so happy that I came. And I was like, oh, I would like to be a friend so that we'll be going to church together. I can come by and invite her to church, like take her to church every Sunday. And she said, why not? We exchanged numbers, and then that was it. And we started talking for a while. And one day she told me that she had something to tell me. I was like, okay, let's chat. And she said she cannot talk to me on the phone, that she would like to see me. And that would be the first day that she was coming to where I stayed. So I invited her over. She came and we sat and started talking. And she was like, she really liked me. I was like, cool, I'm starting to like her too. And she was like, no, she really liked me. I'm like, yeah. And she said it's not like the way that I'm thinking it, that she really likes me. I was like, okay. Then in the area that I stayed back then, there were rumors of homosexuals, but I wasn't very open to it at that point. I wasn't very knowledgeable about it. But the way she was pushing the topic, I realized she was going in that direction. Now I took interest in it. I wanted to know more because at that point my dad had warned me. I grew up in an environment where sexual perversion was on the high, and my dad, being somebody who feared the Lord, warned me that I couldn't get pregnant before a certain age. So when this lady started pushing this topic and eventually told me that she's a lesbian and she would like me to be her girlfriend, she is what is known as the stud. That's the female who projects herself as the male in the relationship of lesbianism. So she wanted me to be her girlfriend. So, having been told this by my dad that I couldn't get pregnant before a certain age, and this around the time where I was in SHS, so I was like, okay. I got interested. I asked her how she came about it, how she became a lesbian, and it was through broken heart. A guy broke her heart, and then a lady at school comforted her, and over time they became partners in that way. And since then, she's practiced that, and now she wants me to be her girlfriend. So I started probing further and became more interested because at that age I was curious and all that. And she went into it. I asked questions, how many women she's been with, how is the act like, and all those things. And she told me all about it. Now, I almost signed up until she mentioned that she beats her women. Now, she didn't say that she beats her women, but she's like, they are very jealous If I asked, so do they get jealous? I asked her a lot of questions. I was like, did girl get jealous when the woman cheats? Since it's woman to woman, they get. And she was like, she even beats her women who cheat on her. I'm like, what? It was that beating aspect that saved me. If not, I was sold to the idea of becoming a lesbian at that point, because my dad has warned me that I couldn't become pregnant at before a certain age. And in the community, children or girls as young as 13 years were having sex and all that, and I knew about it. So I was sold until she mentioned that beating aspect. I'm like, what? I'll be committing sin and you'll be beating me on top? No. I was about to say sign me up, but right now I don't think it's a very good idea. So I'll pass. But guys, honestly, I was sold. At that point, I lacked knowledge. I was young. I was curious. I wanted to experience what people were talking about. And since I can't get pregnant, and I'll get pregnant if I did it with a boy, I thought going the ladies' way was the right way. Until God saved me with that word beating. Like, no, I can't be committing sin and get beaten on top of it. At that point, I still knew that it was sin, but I needed a way out of my sexual, urges. So that was where I was going to go until God saved me with that word. It didn't even stop there. Along the way, more proposal came through Facebook and other places. And I realized the enemy was just at me. Now I look back and I realize it's just the enemy being at me so strongly. So I just wanted to share this part of my past. And if you're facing anything like that, know that God is wise. He created man and woman for a reason. If you're into it, you can come out of it. God is willing to save you out of it. It is sin. You go to hell for it. I don't hate lesbians or homosexuals, but I hate that sin. It's a sin and must be called a sin. If I saw a homosexual right now, I could still be good with them, but it's just that I know it's a sin. I'm not going to condone it, encourage it, or be part of it. I hope this made sense and did something to somebody. I just wanted to share. And if you're watching this and you are faced with any kind of temptation that is looking very good, you know that this is sin, but it feels good or looks good at the moment. Every choice you make come with consequences. You may not pay now, but you pay later. And some takes you deeper and deeper, and some will even lock your generations that will come after you into bondage and servitude to the enemy. So beware. Jesus Christ is the only way. The word of God is standard. It is for our own good that we should avoid sexual perversions. 1 Thessalonians 4 verse 3. So stay away from the devil's cycle. Stay away from anything that will lure you into sin. I'll see you in the next one. Like, share, comment, and be blessed. Okay, stay away from sin. Bye.